to a chef called Rhonda. I'm Rhonda, and this is my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make one of my most sought after and requested recipes is my honey, balsamic, rosemary, and garlic salmon. And it's super simple, super delicious, super healthy because it's salmon with fresh herbs, garlic, and some honey and vinegar, and that's all it is, with a little marination time. So, let's get started. I have purchased about a pound and a half of salmon, maybe a pound and a quarter, as you can see, and yes, it is fresh and delicious. What I will do with this, I will cut this in half because this, and now that I've cut the salmon in half, I have 2, maybe 3/4 pound pieces of salmon. I will set those aside. Now, the trick here to this recipe is fresh rosemary from our garden, fresh rosemary, and about 6 cloves of garlic. So, the trick here is adding a little salt. You will take your fresh rosemary leaves, and here's a trick that I've learned through the years. If you take a fork and you insert your rosemary sprig into your fork and pull ever so gently, the tines of the fork will take off the rosemary leaves, and you will be left with the stem in your other hand. So, I've taken 1 teaspoon of salt on my cutting board. I've taken 1 stem and a half of fresh rosemary and 4 cloves of garlic. And what I will do here is I will gently run my knife right through the rosemary, the garlic, and the salt. So at this time, the smells are incredible inside the kitchen here. Now I will continue to run my knife through the rosemary, garlic, and salt until that rosemary becomes finely chopped and the garlic becomes minced. And the reason why I add salt to this recipe, and it's just a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half, is the salt on top of the salmon will actually penetrate through the tough fibers of the salmon and make the salmon rich and tender. So I utilize that salt almost like a tenderizer as you would meat. A tablespoon of olive oil. I will drizzle that right on top of the cutting board, as well right on top of the rosemary and the garlic mixture. I will take the back of my knife and pretty much just overlay the oil and mix the oil into, get every bit of that all out. So I'm making a paste, if you will. I'll use the back edge of my knife here, like so, to just render the ingredients and smooth them out just a bit, back and forth, like so. And pretty soon you'll see that the garlic will turn a little bit more smooth, a little bit whiter, well, just a little bit. Anybody can do this. This recipe is super easy, but it has that rich, palate-pleasing flavor. World-class cooking here. Creating value in your kitchen. Okay, so we've got that. And it should look something like this when you're done. Can you see that? It should look a little bit like that. Minced and these little bits of goodness. So, first step, I am going to paste evenly this mixture of garlic, rosemary, salt, and oil over the top. I'll use the back of the knife to almost butter the salmon. It should look like so. Okay? Now, so I've prepared my small skillet here, just with a tad of olive oil at the bottom. I will place my salmon, my piece of salmon, inside the skillet, like so. And let me bring it up close for you so you can see exactly how it's stretched on there. And it stays, you know, the olive oil has a nice way of making those ingredients adhere to that salmon. For my final 2 ingredients, very simple. A good quality balsamic vinaigrette, I will drizzle right on top. Now I've used a 1/4 cup of balsamic. Balsamic vinegar will also tend to cook the salmon a bit over time. So I will now drizzle honey, and I have 2 tablespoons of honey here, and it's your all-purpose honey. I've chosen that, and I'll just drizzle the honey right over that fillet of salmon, and I will refrigerate this until 2 hours prior to cooking. So I have my oven preheated already to 425 degrees, and I will cook the salmon for 16 minutes. I will not flip it during cooking. Okay, so that's step 1. So we have tonight's meal. So tonight's meal, it's one and done. It's in the pan, it's in the refrigerator. We will take it out 2 hours prior, let the fish come down to room temperature, and then bake it off at 425 for 16 minutes. It looks like $1,000,000, this meal. I'll pair it with a fresh baked potato and a green salad and a fresh veggie. Or better yet, if you don't have time for the fresh veggie, frozen broccoli in the microwave at 35 seconds a pop for 1/2 cup, and the plate looks like $1,000,000. Comment down below, give me a thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated. So on with step 2. Step 2 is I have just your traditional baggie here, your frozen baggie. I've taken my 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. I have my whole rosemary stem, I left it whole, and I have my chopped garlic at the bottom with my honey. Okay, so same ingredients. I will lock the bag in place, and I will start to massage my salmon. Heck, I wish I had a massage like this. All right, so I'll massage those ingredients onto the salmon, and now that we've massaged the salmon and we've incorporated all those nice little ingredients, just as a little tip, this marinating fish in any type of vinegar will aid in speeding up the cooking process naturally due to the acidifying effects of the vinegar. So what does that mean for us? Well, when you go to cook this in the next coming days, you will take it out, preheat your oven to 425, and perhaps only cook it for 12 minutes, depending on how you like your salmon cooked. So this little guy will go into the refrigerator, and he will be my entree in the coming days. So the trick is the marination, good quality balsamic vinegar, and the rosemary and the garlic really marry with the honey and the balsamic really, really nicely, and the salmon is heavy enough and bold enough to be able to take on that flavor over time. So I will tell you that tonight's meal will consist of that jacket potato, baked potato, and it's just plain old frozen broccoli florets. You can see that. What I will do is I'll take 2 tablespoons of freshly sliced ginger, or better yet, if you're in the international section at the local supermarket, the Oriental ginger for sushi, and a 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil, and a pinch of salt just to pull out that nice flavor from both the broccoli as well as the ginger. I'll steam it in the microwave for my baked potato. I will open it up. I'll put a pat of plant-based butter on inside the potato, and I'll sprinkle a little salt, a little pepper, and my fish will then be the main entree, and it will have that nice caramelized look with the little bits of garlic and the little green specks from the rosemary. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, so I have my little trusty spoon here. This is actually a new addition to our kitchen. But thanks again, and please subscribe to a chef called Rhonda. Stay with me. It's going to be fun. It's always healthy and delicious. Bye!